airplane mode and away from me.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll do a countdown. We can start now. It's usually gonna be an hour long, so
Sure.
usually. And we'll go do a countdown for the actual thing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, this is TMG Podcast. This is episode 160. This is Carlos. With me is Miggy.
Yo.
This is Rob.
And it's Rob. Yep, Rob from UnGeek, our guest
Hey.
for episode 160. Thanks for joining us.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and this is a podcast about pretty much video games, and pretty much this week we're gonna tackle a series of games. For one, Horizon Zero Dawn. Later in the cast, a little bit of NieR Automata, because I think Miggy, you played a handful of it a while ago, and we actually had hands-on with the Nintendo Switch, and specifically Breath of the Wild. So that's gonna be one for 160. Rob, yeah, thanks for joining us. It's your first time. This is your first time actually doing a podcast, right?
No,
your first time,
well, not a podcast. I think I've been in I've like sneaked around in your other event, ESGS.
Oh, that's right. Yes, you
Yeah.
creeped in
Mhm.
one of those event
Unceremoniously. Mhm.
The
Yeah, so
podcast
you-
special in the coffee
the
shop.
podcast in the
Yeah,
coffee
yeah.
shop, surrounded
Right.
by like random voices and all
Yeah.
that. But yeah, one question that I want to ask you right off the bat, because
Go ahead.
the one thing we recently did together was pretty much the PSVR. You pretty much put me in a very uncomfortable space.
The helpless gamer.
The helpless gamer. I think we're
That's
episode
fun.
2.
That's fun.
You're the
Yeah,
helpless
yeah,
gamer
you
in the
were.
series, which we very much appreciate it. Well, sort of appreciate it.
Aside from the
But-
trauma and everything.
Aside from the trauma, because essentially their YouTube series, Help Us Gamer series, you essentially guest 2 people. One has full control over the controller, while the other is just strapped on the PSVR.
Yes, sir.
Sadly, I was the one strapped on, and Miggy was in full control.
And in
And I think-
fairness, Miggy was also stressed.
Yeah, so I was about to say, I think Miggy was more stressed. I'm just more like flailing my arms, really. But I think Miggy was more stressed than ever because of, I guess, the lack of unable to see what's going on. But my question though is, like, the PSVR, you've done a couple of episodes with it already.
Right.
I think you're at episode 4 now, or episode 5.
Where actually we've had, we're in terms of the timeline, I think we're at episode 5. We've shot until episode 5. We've had like a couple of special episodes where we got guests to run through the first hour again.
The first hour.
Mm-hmm.
How was that? How was like going through the process of like playing the game in that same area? Did they go through the girl over and over again in Resident Evil 7?
Yeah, because here's the thing about Resident Evil 7. It's the first R is the most terrifying R.
When the girl shows up.
Yeah, exactly. Spoilers when Mia shows up. But
Yeah.
the thing is, RE sort of starts like Outlast with the entire thing of just like doing nothing and everything. You basically have no way to fend for yourself.
Mhm.
And then it quickly, after the first R, it quickly turns into a Resident Evil game where you're alone. Well, fine, you're dodging, patrolling, whatever, but
Right.
you're mostly solving puzzles, trying to get the game to progress. So yeah.
Yeah, and then you have like storages to do, things to pick up,
And then later on, you
things
get
to avoid.
guns. Later on, you get guns.
and then you get guns.
Yeah, exactly.
But the cool thing about this one, specifically, is your series is focused solely on the PSVR. How is that system? Because you guys set it up, and then you guys set up every time you do an episode, and you guys actually play with it. I mean, how is that system?
It's actually
overall,
so
really.
hard to set up. I think the PSVR was not
That's my
meant.
question, because whenever I see, shout outs to Colin, because whenever I see Colin, like when he was like setting up for us on our episode, it's like there's a lot of things going on in Colin right now.
I
And, like, in the
know.
background, he's like
So many cables, so many.
so many
Power
cables, so many
sources.
was that.
It's so
Um,
difficult. Actually, now the PSVR is with me now. So now I
Okay.
do all of that. So it's like in the special episodes, we have to like set it up because it's so complicated. It wasn't meant to be like mobile. I think it was like meant for like you
That's
set
why-
it up once.
that's why I
You
was
set it up
wondering.
once and that's it.
Yeah. That's what I was wondering because like it seems like you guys were moving the VR around, so that's why it's an interesting question. Like, how is it
Yeah,
in terms of setup? Because it's
we
not friendly at
really
all for it to
do.
mobile.
And the thing is, what makes it more complicated is the setup along with Avermedia. Our capture card to basically.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, the capture because you're capturing all that jazz.
So
Actually,
every time I have to set up the damn thing, I have to open the manual and I have to just go through it.
oh wow. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, PSVR, I I like how people are taking it. We're very lucky to have so much interest on it. Um, and the thing is, we've seen so the setup becomes all worth it when we actually see that they're having fun. The PSVR actually affords you a really nice immersive experience, especially with RE.
With RE.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when we did your episode, I haven't tried it.
Right.
I haven't even put that thing on myself. It was
Oh,
only
right. You did say that. Yeah.
yeah. So I only got to try it. I think in like the next episode after that, and I was like, holy shit! Now I get it. I get why you were like zooming in on everything, like leaning forward
Right?
and everything.
Right. Because that was my first time playing it, like actually getting into the game, like perfect, no problems whatsoever with the VR, and I'm like, wow, this is really immersive. Like, wow, like going around 180 and everything, and just looking around, and then getting freaked out all at the same time. It's actually pretty amazing. So
It was really good. It was really good.
Yeah,
it was
because you
really
have
good.
your peripheral vision to look around you. So like the environment that you're in doesn't move.
Mhm.
But when you see what's being shown on screen, it's imagine if somebody put a GoPro on your head and you start shaking it about.
Right. It's
Now,
actually
now that yeah,
That's kind of what you see on screen. Yeah.
the peripheral is actually what makes it. It's the peripheral vision that makes it.
now the big question is though, with we can obviously say it works, obviously,
Right.
but it still costs a console, and
Right.
it's still it still came out pretty much a couple of months ago with not, and I think Resident Evil 7, correct me if I'm wrong, is probably the one game that is worth picking up for that unit.
Mhm.
Is it worth investing, or is it worth waiting out for when there's a big lineup, just like any other hardware, especially here in the industry where you need a little bit more proof or more confidence to buy this long-term hardware?
You're right. I will say though that the PSVR, immersion wise, like I said earlier, top notch. I've tried the
Right.
test games. I've tried RE. It's great, but in the same way, and I'll probably get into this later when we start discussing like Switch or something. But
Right.
I am all when something costs the amount of a console, I
Right.
am always very, very skeptical when it revolves around one game. I understand that there are other. So, just to answer it really, really clearly, I would advise, as much as I love it, I would advise people to just wait on it a little bit longer because, obviously, RE was a good sign. RE was a good sign that there definitely are developments along VR and the tech is getting there. And RE was like superb. It's just I am a guy who always loves to have a good lineup of titles before you get it.
Yeah. I have a
Um,
1-year rule with hardware.
but here's the
That's
thing:
my way.
even more with a year, it's because I've gotten burned with the background as to why I'm very, very skeptical about things with like the Switch, like the VR, like with everything actually with the Vive and everything. It's mostly
gimmicks,
because
really.
because I remember Virtual Boy. I remember the N64. N64 was the one that actually traumatized me. I missed out on a good era of gaming and I've totally, literally, I have the trauma for it because this is why I react so violently, not violently, but so strongly towards
Violently.
things, not violently, but I have very, very strong opinions towards when something like the Switch launches, or when something like the VR launches, or when VR in general launched, because until you
Okay.
get a good lineup of titles, it's
Mhm.
nothing but a gimmick. I'm glad that the PS is proving that it's trying to not be a gimmick. I'm hoping that Outlast 2 will will continue what Resident Evil 7 started in terms of the VR experience.
Right.
But for now, yeah, maybe just a little bit more for the PSVR.
Speaking of which, Outlast 2 has a release date. I think it's April. I have to double
Yeah.
check, but
Mhm.
it's going to be out in the summer, and that would be a perfect game. But the thing is, I don't want PSVR to be just full on horror
Just
games.
for
That's
horror.
it pretty much proved that yes, horror can work. But the only thing that comes to mind after horror for PSVR is pretty much
Simulators.
Ace Combat. Ace Combat,
Yeah.
honestly. Like I would love to barf after like 2 sorties, maybe. like it's like that's
But
pretty much what's
that's
gonna happen.
but that's the thing with VR, right? I mean, what can you do with that level of immersion? Either you get either you get terrified through horror by
Right.
like really getting you in there and jump scares galore, or it's a simulator. I don't really see it
Or it's a
working for
simulator.
RPGs. I don't really see it working for fighting games. So
Yeah.
I'd be happy to be proven wrong as the future comes, but
So final thing is pretty much just wait and see in a way, like if it's a bigger lineup, because again, this is pretty much what 20K of an investment. Like
pretty much.
like
I think
it
almost,
would
yeah.
pretty much also like there's a PS4 Pro there out in the wild as well. Like would you go
Exactly.
gimmick or enhance? You know what I mean? Like that's the
Exactly.
questions with, especially when you want to enhance your experience, quote unquote. But yeah, the PSVR, I do have fun with it, but in terms of being a customer, um, yeah, it's a wait and see. It's a wait and see. It's a lot of fun though. Thanks for giving us a chance to try that out, because
Yeah,
man,
thank you.
Resident Evil 7 that way, I don't know if I can play it any other way, because that was actually pretty fun. But then
It was
again, I
really
haven't played
pretty
it
good,
with a
yeah.
controller. I play it like with my head. That's the thing.
It's good. It's
Yeah.
good. Seeing it being played by so many people, I'm glad that I'm seeing even really not hardcore gamers get really
Right.
into it.
That's
And
cool though. Yeah.
actually, people like Colin who hate horror. I guess it's a combination of the VR technology and Resident Evil, wherein they say, "Holy shit, I really like the story now," and they get invested with it.
Right. Well, there you go. That's like do check out their Help Us Gamer series. I think you guys are gonna go all the way to completion. Like you guys are gonna try to finish the game. Is that the
I mean,
big plan?
hopefully,
Hopefully.
that was the vision,
That's the
but we're
vision.
getting
Yeah.
we're getting a lot of special episodes. So I'm not sure if we're going to. I'm the dream. My backup plan is that hopefully I can stream it with someone someday.
Awesome. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Well, there, go check
Like
that out
the
on UnGeek's
remainder. Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you.
do check that out. Let's shift gears here now, because there's one game that we are current. I'm not sure if you're done with it, but I'm still playing it. Horizon Zero Dawn.
Horizon Zero Dawn is amazing.
You reviewed that game.
Mhm.
I
Yes,
was
I did.
actually playing that I'm actually working on my review. I was actually playing it a while ago.
Nice.
Oh my god, that game.
That game. That. Sorry, can I swear?
No, you can go all out.
Oh yeah, feel free.
That fucking
free.
game, man. That fucking game. Holy goddamn shit. It's so good. It's
You
so
were
damn
with
good.
us. You were with us when we checked out the game on the event, and yeah, we
On
were
the
all
event,
pretty much-
right.
yeah, we were all enjoying it. When I played it, and I'm sure you're in the same boat as me, it was just the tip of the iceberg, man. It was just not even like
It was.
it was just
It
us.
was.
Like they were just us checking it out, and then all of a sudden, there's so much more. And
No, and it gets more and more picturesque. Like Jesus
Right,
Christ,
actually.
the sunset effects when everything goes red is beautiful.
Screw the
Holy
sunset
shit.
effects. I like the night effects, man. When it goes down.
No,
That's the thing.
also, exactly.
Yeah.
It's great.
So
It's
like
so great.
the graphics are amazing. But are you playing this game on the PS4 Pro? Because that'll be the difference
I
between the
am.
two of us now. Like,
I
are you
am
playing it on
playing
the
it on the
Pro?
Pro. I am playing on the Pro.
Is there? I don't know if you can make a. Can you tell a difference, or do you have a comparison to, or maybe from the event to say that is it a big difference, or is Horizon Zero Dawn a good benchmark to show that the Pro does enhance your experience?
To be very, very clear, because I don't have a benchmark, I don't
Yeah,
really
yeah,
get to put it side by side. But
yeah.
I have been seeing pictures from people who upload pictures of it. And even the pictures that I take from the game's photo mode, uh,
Right.
I th- I think everything becomes a little bit crisper, I guess, or it's not crisper, but maybe smoother. Once again, it's not to anyone listening, please don't quote me on it. It's just a feel from what I'm seeing on social media. Until I get a
Right.
side by side, I'll see it. But
Right.
they people do say that it's one of the games that really optimizes the Pro.
Yeah, that's my general consensus is also with the Horizon, because it's like if you want to like, even like, I think this is the first ever game with like PS4 highlights, like it's showing like it has PS4 Pro support. Like, I don't, like, if you see the case behind it, like, I don't, it just shows their PS4 Pro support. So I don't think there's any other game out right now that has that. So they're like
Oh,
they're
you're
doing it first with that, with Horizon Zero
nice.
Dawn. And yeah, I don't think I didn't want to ask you about the FPS, because just even with the normal PS4, it's not. It's FPS drops are not a thing in this game. It's not like
That's
it's
Yeah,
true.
it rocks a solid 30 on the regular PS4,
yes. It's
Mm.
which is
How are your
that game
loading
seems to be really
times?
well optimized.
How are your loading
my
times?
my loading times. Weirdly enough, if you play the game from the start and then you just keep going, you
Mhm.
technically will never experience a loading screen until you
No,
if
but
you
at
don't.
least the initial, just
But
the initial.
but
The
initial, it's kind of
from
long. It's kind of long. Yeah,
uh,
it's a good minute at
there
least.
you go. I think
Yeah.
that's the difference. A good minute naman. That's fine.
Yeah.
With the Pro kasi, I mean, I'm comparing it to the other games that I've played, like freaking Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy
Right.
had stupid loading time.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, initial loading time.
Mhm.
So comparing that to Horizon, I find maybe it's a Pro thing, but I find
Right.
it to be very, very minuscule. And then
Right.
suddenly you never feel loading time ever again.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
wow.
pretty much. No, that's actually pretty true, Miggy, because like the only time you'll actually get experience is loneliness when you die or if when you fast travel.
Mm-hmm.
Because it
And
has to reload the world again, I guess.
pretty much, and essentially, I don't even. The game is so fun. It's so like, inviting that I don't even use fast travel as much. I would love to go through the world and just keep killing whatever I see, because that's what's going on right now. Like
Exactly.
whatever I see, and I'm killing things, and I actually need to pick up stuff. This is the first time where I want to pick up herbs. I need to pick up herbs every single time.
Gotta get that herb, man.
I gotta get the herb, man. I gotta get the herb. Like before, like I have that tendency of like if I see a red thing, oh, it's for the heal. But then the game starts to troll me because it's either gonna be the medical thing or the fire resistance herb. So like
Oh,
it's
right,
like
right, right.
pisses me off because like, oh shit, I thought it was the. Yeah.
If ever
Anyways,
and if ever there's
mm,
anything that's encumbering me, it's the inventory space. It's just really
there's a
bad.
lot of shit. There's a lot of
I,
shit you have to go through.
I know.
Like that's usually
It's annoying
the
when I have to drop things just to like pick up other things.
right. And I think I have like most of the capacity, like most of the item capacity is already maxed out, and I'm still like, I still don't have space for
Same,
anything.
same, same. I agree. I
It's,
agree.
it's so amazing. But yeah, the in terms of graphics, it's still top notch. Like the photo mode is amazing. It's really fun to play with. Um, Graphic wise, is cool. Performance wise, it's still there's no problems. Like I don't even know I don't know how far I am. I think I'm 50% in or whatever, but there's no problems in performance at all. Is
You're
that
fifty
also?
percent in.
Yeah, I am.
How far in the map are you? Because
I
holy
got
shit,
like I got.
I'm still
I'm.
approaching Gate Tower.
You're still approaching Day Tower. I am way ahead of you.
Holy shit!
I am not. I'm not
God
kidding.
damn it!
I'm not kidding when when the gates of pretty much Horizon Zero Dawn open. I'm like, oh, I can go there.
Oh
and I
shit!
got all the way there,
I'm
and
super behind. Damn it. Okay.
it's one of those cool open world games though that you play it just like Fallout. You play it, and there's a main mission, cool, but there's a mountain over there. I want to check that out, and I go, I literally go all the way there, and it's not like levels really restrict you. I don't know if you feel it though, but when there's something like a couple of levels higher than you, you can still take it down. You're
I
just gonna it's just
I
gonna be hard.
actually appreciate that. Because that was my problem with the mess that was Final Fantasy 15. I mean, I like it, but it was a mess in terms of if you over level yourself, you're practically just going to breathe on things and they disintegrate.
Pretty much, yeah.
Here, you're okay. I mean,
Not so
basically,
much. Yeah.
you only get skills. Your attack damage doesn't really change.
Yeah.
Or at least it doesn't feel like it. So yeah,
It's not really RPG in a sense of Final Fantasy 15 because when you level up, you get health and skill points.
right.
That's pretty much what happens. So it's not like what you said. Yeah, there's stats or anything. The weapons have stats, but it's not dramatically increased whenever you get a new one. Like you just have more options. So like you're not.
Yeah, it's a functionality thing.
Yeah. So that's actually cool in that regard. That's why, for example, even though I'm like level whatever, and I fight this bandit camp, and it's like they're all level 4. If I just stand there and they do a headshot on me, I'm dead. Like I'm gonna die.
Right.
For sure. So that's
Right,
actually
right,
that's why it's pretty cool that even if I'm doing all this crap and I'm getting higher, and then I think my main mission I'm like 10 levels higher than my main mission, it doesn't matter. It's still hard because it's just like it's literally just a recommendation of what level you should tackle this, and
Exactly.
it's a lot of fun.
I'm so glad they did that. Seriously, so glad they did that.
Yeah, I'm pretty. And then this is actually one of the first open. I'm not sure about you, but have you played like a lot of open world games before Horizon Zero Dawn? Is it?
I guess the only thing
I
that
guess
I've
it's
the
Final
only
Fantasy
open
15?
world is FF15. But you can't really consider that open world.
Okay.
I mean, it is ish until
Have you-
Yeah,
have you
it's sort of
felt-
kind of.
Have you felt the Ubisoft open world like experiment? No, can I say experiment? Like those open worlds, like similar to like Ubisoft, like Assassin's Creed or
Assassin's Creed, yes, is
yeah, that like
there. Yeah,
the open world of those kinds of elements, like they can be redundant. They can be like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. But I don't know about you, but I think the gameplay with Horizon Zero Dawn, it's so inviting that I want to do all of it. Like
that's
I want
true.
to. I really want
And
to.
I like how they took into consider. I think, sorry, the monster design, the design of the machines,
Yes.
at least from where I am, is very well done in terms of it gives you a feel of the world. Because that's right. In the Arkham series, you'll always see thugs. You'll always
Right.
see like the variations would be they'd either have a bat or they'd have a gun.
Yeah.
In Assassin's Creed, you'd have like knights and things. These, at least, you'll have like the fire bellows here. You'd have like the tall knights here, and it sort of plays with the geographic thing, the fauna, or maybe I'm imagining it, but that's where I am right now.
So you're saying, despite it being populated by robot dinosaurs, it feels more alive than, say, an Assassin's Creed open world game, which is just populated by people.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for
It's
sure.
more coherent, and it makes sense that these types of dinosaurs are in this area. Parang ganon.
Yes. Yes. I totally.
They're actually-
That's amazing.
There's actually some. I'm not sure if you've experienced like the bird like I think it's called.
I have not yet.
Okay, but it's really cool that you can find them when there's like dead machines, because they apparently they harvest through dead machines. Like, so that's where they're gonna
Oh,
be.
cool. Okay.
So that's how they operate apparently. And I think those stupid deer like things, they're usually by the stones, because they're like apparently they're grinding stones. I don't know why, but that's what like they haven't like these animals. Based on what I'm experiencing, like they have some kind of a purpose that they're doing.
That's
In a
true.
way.
I've encountered that just recently. I was up against this group of scrappers,
Yeah,
and the scrappers,
Yes.
and I killed one, and I was just like, okay, I'll just wait until these two pass by, and I'll loot this one. And then he starts drilling into the dead one, and when I go back,
Wow.
there's nothing. There's nothing there. He literally strapped the dead
Yeah.
body so that nothing could be salvageable. It's just like, holy fuck, did it just really do that?
Yeah, it's like they code. It's like they program them to have at least some kind of purpose. Like they could
It's
be
so
doing
good.
something.
That's why. So when it happened, I was just
Yeah.
like, "Holy shit!" I'm mind blown. But then, fuck you for taking my loot.
Yeah, it goes away. It really just goes away.
If I can't have it, neither can you.
I know. It's like, damn. Holy shit.
And it's alive too. When you get further into the game, it's actually alive because like the NPC they have roaming like NPCs roaming around. I don't know what they're doing, but they'll get ambushed by like a robot, and then it's either I can
Oh,
help
do
them
they?
or not.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's like
That's cool.
and there's some kind of like there's some kind of like can I say racism going on? Like you can tell like there's a community going on because they don't like me. You know? I don't want to spoil it, but yeah, there's some hate going on here.
Yeah,
Like,
the
I gotta
tribes
figure
don't
that
like each other. In the
Yeah,
story.
they don't. Yeah, and it's very apparent, and it's again like the story. I don't want to spoil it, but that's another thing. That's another reason why it's pretty inviting. There's so much going on. I just feel like it's really good. It's just really from a shooter developers from a shooter from that's the one thing that kind of like really you guys can actually pull it off.
The topics that
Um,
they take on are pretty ballsy. I have to say that.
Pretty ballsy. Yep, they're pretty ballsy indeed. In terms of the story, so it's this, and the side quests are actually worth doing. At least I'll say that. They're worth doing. They're worth experiencing. And then I think last but not least, I'd like to say that Aloy, the main character. Yep, this is gonna be like she might. Yeah, I can really see now she can be like in line with Nathan Drake. That ambassador that
The
PlayStation
new
would
mascot for PlayStation.
pretty much.
You think she's
Yeah,
worthy?
I think she's really worthy. She's such a heroine.
I'm not sure if
She's such a ray.
I'm not sure if you've observed it, but I've seen a lot of female gamers get super attached and or empowered and or have taken a great and they've related to her more than they would have ever done with Lara Croft.
Because she
yeah, go ahead.
because I'd like to think that she seems to be more relatable or true,
Right.
if you know what I mean, or it's just maybe that that's
Aloy is
my
very
answer.
human. Aloy
Yeah.
is very human. Actually, she sure she's a protagonist, but it doesn't make her like I will cleanse the world and be like the angel of something. No, she actually deals with a lot of issues, with a lot of hangups, and but the thing is, she pulls through in the most human way possible. If that makes any sense.
No, and yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense, and I think it's easy to root for someone like her because she has a clear purpose. And like unlike I think the best interpretation of Tomb Raider, or rather Lara Croft, was like the recent ones, like the reboot and Rise of the Tomb Raider. That's her trying to get out of a horrible situation. That's really what she's going through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's pretty much what Lara Croft's going through, and pretty much what you get out of that. That's just Mia. What she gets out of that is just her being a badass and her pulling off these amazing things during that horrible event. This one, Aloy, this is a journey. She is finding answers. She is growing and you actually see her, like it's no spoiler, but you actually literally meet her from the beginning and I guess all the way until the end of the story. Like you get to see her grow.
And you see her deal with social bullshit. Social bullshit that most people are subject to. Discrimination, being looked down upon, because society at its very basic form existed, and a lot of those issues still exist even to present day. So it's great to see how she deals with that, and she has to like how she answers things,
right? And I think it's the reason why like we see a lot of like in the whole entertainment medium in general is we're seeing a lot more females a lot of more female leads in general because
In Overwatch.
oh yeah, in Overwatch as well. God, Overwatch just finds its way in this podcast. There it is. For this one. It's fine. It's fine. But Horizon Zero Dawn, I don't know how many hours do I have invested, but I've been trying my best to at least trying to finish it so I can do a full length review. There's so much to go on. Like I think this is definitely a 40-50 hour game. It's so big. The world map is no joke. It's really no joke. It's
And it's not
hmm.
you can play in your spare time. It's something that you can really relax to. I guess
Yeah.
I mean yes, the story's there, but damn the visuals. Sorry. Just sometimes I have to stop midway through a quest because I just enjoy the scenes around me. Start
Yeah.
fiddling with photo mode.
Yeah, I fiddle with photo mode a lot actually, and I think before I was waiting for you guys to come on, I wasn't doing a quest. I was playing the game. I was just literally just filling up my herb bag. That's
Gotta
literally what I
face
was doing. I was literally walking around like, let me stock up because I want to fight this herd of saber whatever. I just want to fight those guys. Like, I'm literally making a sortie by myself. Like, I don't have to fight that herd, but I kind of want to because applying the
God damn it.
traps, like just lead like laying out all the traps properly and then leading them towards them to kill them all properly is a lot of fun for me. Like I just love experimenting with that.
That's true.
But yeah. So I make my own experiences with this open world. And yeah, this more to come still because I'm still playing it. The story is slowly, growing in me. But I can't really say it because spoilers. But there's just a lot going on. There's really a lot going on. But yeah, there Horizon Zero Dawn, pretty impressive. I think it's just 2.4 on
I made
the
it-
Asian version.
I
PS4.
actually made a joke about her being Batman, but it's kind of true. It's nice how you don't just power through things. It's nice that you actually have to plan out shit.
That's why
Gotta
I
sneak
love
around, be careful.
Right.
no,
Plan out your
use
traps. That's
the
cool.
weapons properly. Like if it says it's weak against fire, use fire.
Mhm.
Like and then if you see a thing you can chip it off, and then that machine will go ballistic, and then you'll have that opportunity to kill. Like I love it. I just love the whole bit. Like you hit this to weaken it, you destroy this, so at least you get that. And it's just there's a lot of cool planning involved. It's not like just get a bazooka and then blow things up. No. You
That's
have to plan.
probably that's probably the most mind-blowing thing about the game for me. Because it sort of supersedes it becomes an improvement to the leveling system, which a lot of RPGs or action RPGs have done. Because with the leveling system, you ensure that as you grow stronger, your enemies will grow stronger as well.
Mhm.
But some games that can just go totally open world with no leveling system whatsoever, sometimes you go where you just shouldn't be there because you're too strong. You can just power through everything. This one does a good balance. Like you can't just really walk around everywhere because you will die if you just
Yeah.
go through it willy-nilly. But
That's very true. My biggest example for that is like I literally was trying to go through a same side. I was like just following through a track to a side quest, and I didn't know I was actually walking into a bandit camp. I was
Right.
just walking through because I was just autopiloting, and then those are all level 4 bandits, and I just died. I'm like, oh, so okay, they were enemies. I wasn't
That's
paying
a thing.
attention. Yeah, like should have been in the bushes, girl. But yeah, Horizon Zero Dawn, pretty awesome game. It's really it's really
It is,
cool
it
game.
is.
But let's talk about that other.
If you want to see a comparison between the differences between the regular PS4, the Pro, and the 4K
Mhm.
version of Horizon, IGN put up a video showing it off.
Oh,
It
nice.
looks
There you
pretty
go.
clean for the most part, but on the regular PS4, when things are too far in the distance, you can see the jaggies.
Okay,
I do
so
think
that's
that
what
the,
the Pro
the
does.
Pro one
Okay.
also runs at a slightly better frame rate.
Right.
But other than that, like it still looks pretty on any version of the PS4.
Yeah,
That
it's
game
really
is
pretty. It's like one of the
optimized
most
really
gorgeous.
well.
It's really well optimized. I don't see much of glitches that really destroys my experience. And if you guys feel like you have to like get a PS4 to play Horizon Zero Dawn, fine, but you're not missing out. You're getting it's unlike the first generation of PS4 is just perfect enough to make this run.
And to
it's
think
still a
that
shocker
they
how
barely had any major patches, huh?
2 patches pa lang.
Mhm.
It's 1.03.
No, but
It just
nothing
actually came out,
really
like,
major. Yeah,
Nothing huge so far.
yeah, nothing major. Day one is only 200 MB. Good gag from Guerrilla Games, not releasing like day one. Like it's
That's
that
true.
game's worth.
Right?
Yeah.
That means that the game was actually those 6 years in development. Damn, they really did it.
It's showing off good.
They're showing up really good. Yeah, good guys they're from Amsterdam, I think. Guerrilla Games. They're
Yes, they are.
this game is from Amsterdam. So
You know what they were smoking?
Knowledge.
Knowledge was being smoked up in there.
moving on though, let's shift gears now. Let's talk about a game that's from Japan not now, or rather a new system, because Miggy, you actually got a chance to try out the Nintendo Switch.
You missed
And
out on a
that
good transition.
I did.
Let's make the Switch click
Oh,
instead
click.
of
Well, you're a co-host too, Miggy. You
So
could have, you
close,
could have done it.
man.
Damn it. Okay, I'm done.
But yeah, thanks to JP Esteban, twitch.tv/Riveus. Is that how you
yes,
say it?
thank you.
Is that
For
it?
letting
Okay.
us
Riveus.
join in his purchase and unboxing of the Nintendo Switch. Day
Yep,
one.
thank you, JP. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
That was pretty cool. Man, that is a cute system. Gotta say, it
You're right,
is
folks.
way smaller than you think.
From Miggy. It's a cute system.
It's so cute
Wink.
though.
It's like
It's so
when
kawaii.
the box is tiny for a console.
Right.
Like I think the PS4 itself is bigger than the Switch box,
Oh hell yeah!
No, I think
Oh,
it's
hell.
like
and then
half
when you
of it.
open it up, it looks even smaller than you'd expect.
It's
What's the screen size on that
Crazy
thing?
how small it is actually.
Yeah, but I think because we got over that pretty quick. I think like it looks small in the box,
Right.
but once you slap on the Joy-Cons on the side, it gets considerably wider. And like the Joy-Cons by themselves are also really small. Like they're maybe slightly larger than the palm of your hand.
Is that what I was
And,
like?
you know,
Is it
people-
like what I was worried about? Like kind of like valid, where it just feels small and might break in your hand.
I thought it was like that, and when I initially grabbed it, it felt a bit weird, but I kind of got over that real quick.
Okay.
But I imagine people with like giant hands would not enjoy the Joy-Cons.
It engulfs
It's the kind of thing
the
where you
joystick.
sort of like if your hands are big enough, you can probably press every button together.
Oh no.
It looks
Oh,
like
no.
that. Yeah, and it's the analog sticks are kind of like they remind me of the Vita analog sticks. They're pretty small. But
How
yeah,
was that though?
Hmm.
No, I mean how is the setup? It's just simple. I mean, it seems simple enough. Like you just plug and play.
Actually,
put on the
yeah,
HDMI. put in
I'd
the
say
plugs.
for like a day one console launch, everything just worked right out of the box. Like it even had a mild charge in it for both the Joy-Cons and the Switch unit.
Oh, cool.
So
All right.
we were able to like for the photos that UnGeek took, we were able to take quick video of it running Zelda for at least 5 minutes before it died.
The mild charge was only like 5 minutes worth of like Zelda.
Yeah, but we were able to like run around and mess around
Just
with the
enough to
controls.
show it off. Yeah, just enough to show it off.
Just enough.
Yeah,
to
we
show
even
it
got
off.
the
That's pretty
battery
awesome.
dying on video, which was pretty funny.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. Yeah,
I did see that. I did see
Yeah.
that.
So yeah,
How is
that's pretty cool.
how is the overall battery life though?
I haven't. We didn't really get to try it that much because it took also a while to charge. But
Okay, understood.
people are saying it is really doing the whole 2.5 to 3 hour thing at
Yeah,
nonstop
like
play.
if you fully from what I'm hearing is if you fully charge the Switch, you take it out and you go all out with the the Zelda.
Mhm.
Yeah,
2.5
Miggy's right.
hours,
2.5 hours or
which
3
is
hours.
I think still the standard handheld battery life because like I think the 3DS
think-
also goes.
I think that's all right because I read this
Three
is
something
my
hours.
general consensus. If you go past 3 hours, you might as well go
You have to sit down somewhere.
sit down or do something. Like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be like I don't know. I think 3 hours when you're outside the world.
Yeah, but you
still
won't.
on
You
the
won't.
go.
That's
But
enough.
I will counter that though and say that you won't be
With
saying that if you're in a plane.
to the
That
US.
seems that's still a really specific scenario. I mean, we won't have
That's
that
true.
luxury.
That's true. That's true. That's true. That's
No,
true.
is it the
Maybe
US or the Cebu?
For people in the States, because they fly a lot there, and like yeah, for us it's like 45 minutes of flight.
Oh yeah, definitely. For us,
That's
it's
long enough, man.
Actually,
They'll tell
I
you
would
to like,
like
sir,
to.
bawal yan, bawal may electronics sa aeroplane.
Actually, then the situation actually make more sense. The 3 hour battery life. Like if I go to like from where I am to Pasig, for example, to meet Mickey, for example.
That's like a long bus ride.
That's
You
that's
know?
a good 3 hour. That's a good full battery right there, just to play Zelda. Just like
Yeah.
a
I
bus.
think
just
3 hours
sit
is
there.
fine. If you're thinking about, because I guess people are thinking about it in terms of tablet life, like battery life. But if you think about it in terms of handheld console battery life, like the 3DS or the Vita, or say even the PSP and I don't know the Game Boy
3
before
hours
that,
seems right.
like 3 to 4 hours. That's usually how it goes.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the iPads. Well, I don't know. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Whoever's listening, but the iPad's a completely different system. Different. The games that run there is
It's not dedicated for gaming.
Yeah,
it's
that
different.
too.
It's made for different things.
It's made for different things.
But
And
and Hill.
yeah, out of the
power
box,
banks are your best friend.
yeah,
power
but
banks
I
is a
think
true use.
at least in terms of the power banks, people are still trying to test which works because apparently, it might not accept certain voltages of power banks.
oh, really? So there's like
So
some kind of like a
that's
trial
still
and error
being
going on.
explored. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does accept a regular USB-C cable, and you can probably wall charge it, no problem. It's funny though because somebody plugged it into a Apple iMac,
Mm.
and it started charging the iMac instead of the iMac charging the Switch.
Wait.
God.
Wait, what?
I don't know, man. I think that's hilarious.
That's what happens when jobs in Nintendo mix. Like Nintendo starts helping out.
Yeah, that's what happens when Nintendo is being run by bad guys, from a TV show.
That's so weird. The Nintendo Switches starts charging your. There you go.
Bizarre.
If for some reason you need your laptop to work, look for your Switch.
And you have a Switch.
Yeah, you have a Switch
Perfect.
for your laptop. There you go. A good good 30-minute charge or whatever. Anyway, when you dock the thing,
If even.
when you dock the Nintendo Switch.
So wait. Starting off, when you open the box, you see the Switch and the Joy-Cons on the top of the box.
Okay.
But underneath, you get your dock. You get your the Joy-Con dog controller grip.
Is there a thank you note from Nintendo?
No,
Thank you for buying.
there's not.
Switch.
Maybe there is, like, thanks for playing somewhere. I don't know. Maybe, but you get the dock, the Joy-Con controller thing that looks like a dog face, and you get those things that you clip on the Joy-Cons that have wrist straps.
Right.
So there's that, and
Is it easy to
an
put-
HDMI cable.
I think it's the biggest problem right now. Like those straps putting on those joysticks. LR.
Oh, actually, the straps were pretty tight, but we got them off like with just a not that much effort, but you gotta push a bit because I think you just don't have enough leverage to get them off. But I remember hearing from Giant Bomb when they sent people from Nintendo there with the Switch that like you don't have to you don't have to hold this with baby hands. You really gotta exert effort because those metal rails are way more durable than you think.
Okay.
I think what the issue that people are having now with those specific clips is that they're putting them on upside down, and that's how
Okay.
they're getting stuck. Because you see a plus and a minus on the sides of those things, and they have to match
Yeah.
each specific Joy-Con side. Otherwise, the latch gets caught in the wrong way.
Okay, so that there's more tutorial that more information needs to be ingested into this whole community.
I will say though that when it comes to things like that, they really need to do more than the plus minus thing. If there was anything that I appreciated with the PSVR, part of the connectors they actually had the triangle, square, circle, X mark, and then you just had to match that with the cord. Because there might be people who, I mean, I made that mistake of like saying, oh, because positive and negative have to meet, Hey, I could just be dumb, but you know.
No, it's also the thing where
It's okay. It's
I've
okay.
seen videos of people getting their Joy-Con stuck,
Right.
and like the wrist strap is upside down. Man, how did you mess that up? I guess.
I guess that's growing
But
pains.
yeah,
I guess,
it should
for
be
your system.
clear. But like it's indented in the plastic. But yeah, that's still
People
not
throw the
a fun
plastic.
thing. But you're not going to
People-
use those controllers often, I assume. Maybe for 1-2 switch, and that's it. Or that punch game, probably.
Oh god, did you actually play 1-2 Switch? By the way, it just really looks.
We did
dumb.
not. We just played Zelda, and like I was having fun a bit too much, and then we had to go and like, oh, we forgot to play 1-2 switch.
Having a good time.
Yeah.
How's
But,
okay?
yeah,
you
aside
had-
from
go ahead.
it just comes with also like a HDMI cable and a power adapter that ends with a USB-C port, so you can charge it without the dock. Also,
Oh, did you check out the adapter? Like, did you check the back of it? Because
what, made in the Philippines?
I think it's made in the Philippines. Is it also
Dude,
the
that's
the
not
units that
that's
came?
not new, man. If you're
That's
amazed
new to
by
me.
that, you just have
That's new to me.
my PSP charger says made in the Philippines. It's just how
That
it
just-
is, man.
That just goes to show I don't really look.
Right. You know,
Yeah,
I made this
don't- yeah.
controller. I'm the hero of the Switch.
So it's a
Yeah,
simple
that
stuff.
was kind of a funny thing, though.
Yeah, simple stuff
Yeah,
coming
it's
from the
simple stuff.
Switch.
And dude, did you guys know that the Switch has a touchscreen? Because I didn't
Does
until
it?
we opened it up.
Does it?
We-
That's interesting.
Yeah, because we booted it up, and of course it prompts you to like select your language and all that. And syempre, instinctively we tapped the touchscreen, and then we all like shut up and realized this thing has a touchscreen.
You gotta put a touch. You gotta put a screen
We kind of
protector.
freaked out for a good minute, you know.
Is it?
And it's finally a capacitive touchscreen because I think the Wii U still had a resistive touchscreen with a stylus.
Yeah,
So Nintendo is finally modernizing, you know.
it's finally
About
moving up in
time.
the world. They're finally like upgrading
And actually,
themselves.
no, here's a weird thing. This system feels like a modern system. Like the UI is really clean. It has those cute little sound effects too, that escalate higher and higher the deeper you get into the menu when you boot it up.
Wasn't the Wii U like
Everything-
modernized enough, or are you saying it was that
the
bad?
Wii U had like a big ass day one patch, so people who bought it for Christmas could not play it.
That's
like,
true
what,
though. You
3 gigs of a
that's
patch?
true though. They had that little weird issue where people
Are
were
you
downloading the
serious?
patch.
That is so
Yeah,
sad.
it forced
Yeah.
you to update. You couldn't
Yeah,
do anything.
you
until-
don't have the OS. You don't have the OS on the system. You have to download it. That's why the Wii U had issues wherein when you're downloading and all of a sudden brown out, you brick your
you
Wii
have
U
to
in the first
re-download.
week.
Yeah.
No, there are
shit.
some that brick their thing because they were downloading and
That's-
something messed up. The
that's
HD messed
bad.
up.
Oh
like-
my god.
Thus,
That's
me
so
hating
bad.
day one patches like that, and it happens to a hardware. Sorry, it happens to a
I
hardware.
mean, you know,
ahead,
even
go ahead.
comparing to say the PS4, the PS3, and all that, when it would, you know, initially sometimes the UI is pretty jank
Mhm.
for the systems, then you'd have to download maybe a patch or two before it finally evens out, or they smoothen it out as it goes on.
Mhm.
This thing, it worked. Like it prompted an update, and we like, no, we'll skip that. We're gonna mess with it a bit. And
Raw.
then we did.
You gotta
and then
test it raw.
I think it did end up forcing itself to update, but it was
Okay.
like a tiny download. It was done in like less than 2 minutes.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
So you can
oh, it's
That's
done.
good.
I guess we
That's
can
good.
Zelda now.
plug and play. That's
Pretty
how
much.
I want with stuff you buy off the counter. It's just you have to be plug and play. No day one bullshit.
Yeah, I've heard stories about people's Joy-Cons like having sync issues, but at least when we tried it, it was
No problems with you
pretty
guys.
much. Yeah, it worked right off the bat. It worked really well. The UI is clean. We plugged in the dock and it just appeared on the TV like easy. No problems there.
Yeah. A quick transition.
The-
Like once it's placed in the dock, TV turns on.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
you're set.
You just gotta wait for like the TV to recognize the HDMI signal, basically.
Yeah.
but you pop
then-
it in, it immediately switches out, and it's even faster when you pop out the switch.
Wow. So it works.
Yeah, and
Quote unquote, it just works.
it really, like, they didn't lie this time. You know,
They didn't lie.
you know, like with the Wii U, they were really vague about most of the features, and then with the Switch, they were like, "Oh, it does this, this, and this." They weren't lying; it just works. You know,
Awesome.
I'm really surprised. Like, it made me think, like, how is this a Nintendo system? How is it being? It's not being anti-consumer.
This is how we
working
felt
fine.
about For Honor. How is this a Ubisoft
Dude.
game?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah,
that's a
and
good
then-
comparison.
But
That's
with
actually a
For
very good
Honor,
comparison.
you get the disconnection issues, and like, there's the Ubisoft.
There they
icon, you
There's
know?
what we
Like,
know
it
and
rears
love.
its ugly head somehow. But with the Switch, it's like, I'm trying to look for something bad to say, but no, I just want one now.
Oh no! I mean, is it that
Like, there's
like,
no
it's-
games for it, but this Zelda looks real good.
Oh, the
Speaking of
Zelda
Zelda,
looks- The Zelda looks beautiful.
it's literally the most best reviewed game,
Oh, dude, yeah, it's insane.
Metacritic wise, at least.
It makes it extra sad for Xbox users because
Right,
they don't
why?
get nothing.
That's
Oh,
actually
they-
true.
They don't get
You
anything.
have a
this
bow
month.
wielding wild person in like the jungles in both PS4 and Switch.
I do want to ask you,
high
though,
scoring games. Xbox gets nothing.
I do want to ask you, though, how do you feel about that, about Breath of the Wild not being a Switch exclusive?
I think it's
Um,
fine. I mean, they did that for Twilight Princess.
No,
It was
I
supposed
think
to be a
that's a,
GameCube exclusive, and then I think that's just I'd prefer. I honestly prefer the Breath of the Wild being a Switch launch more so than say Mario Odyssey. I think that Breath of the Wild has way more to offer for us, for like a more mature gaming audience than say Mario, and like
Mhm.
it just seems like a really big game too. It's
I
like
guess I'm
it's
just
hard to
weirded
imagine-
out.
And yeah,
why you waited
Yeah.
out, Rob? What's up with the what was
No,
your concern?
I mean, I guess I'm just weirded out that they didn't use it as a console seller. I mean, yes, it is to some degree, but people had the cop out to just play it on the Wii U.
Well, you have to also like if I was in their shoes, you have to also think on the fact that you have to think about the community in the long run, because you can't literally alienate the people who did
yeah.
buy the Wii
You
U
have
and
to
say I'm
justify-
a Nintendo fan.
Yeah, you have to justify to your audience that like they bought the Wii U for something.
Yeah.
And then I think
And-
Zelda was promised way before the Switch was even a thing.
There
Yeah.
you go. I didn't know that.
And like, because technically Switch didn't exist. Like, when did it exist? It just existed like what, last year of June or something?
Yeah, they revealed it like
or
I think last year.
no,
Like
it was last
we
year
heard
of like
rumors of it 2 years ago, but Zelda has been worked on for I think almost 3 years now.
Yeah.
It
Zelda
skipped
has
an
really
E3.
been it's been a Wii U thing for a while. It was pretty much revealed as a Wii U title. It was revealed. It was actually a benchmark.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, so stuff like that. So if you put it if you actually make it a Switch exclusive, you're just pretty much saying screw you. Thanks for buying the Wii
think
U.
about it.
buy
Think
a
about it the other way, where it's an afterthought for the Switch. Right? It's like saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, we have a Zelda game. Why not make it for the Switch as the big seller?" You know, and
Yeah.
maybe they were making it as a Wii U game only at the time.
Okay. I gotcha.
And I wouldn't be
Imagine
surprised also if
you
the
have
Wii U
a
feels better.
and then it doesn't come out for the Wii U.
It's a bad
Then
guy.
yeah.
Because
You
God
hate
knows the
Nintendo
price.
forever.
Yeah, Chad will be mad. Chad from Remember Files will be mad.
Yeah.
But the way they did it though, the way that they marketed it is pretty much it just looks like it's a Nintendo Switch exclusive.
Yeah, it
Just
makes
the
they still
same
make you
way-
think that it's for the Switch only, but like, oh yeah, it's out on the Wii U at the same day.
Yeah.
We just never
Same-
told you.
It's pretty much the same way how they
Same
did
product.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. They
Yeah.
just they talk about Rise of the Tomb Raider,
That is
Xbox
what game,
One,
sorry?
Xbox One.
Right.
And-
Right.
And then the 360 version
And-
also existed. They just never told you.
I think I'm the only Filipino that have bought the 360 version.
Probably.
Really? I did not know that. I didn't know that it was for the 360.
I have
It's-
I played Rise in the 360. I have a copy. Like it's there. Like you have to ask the people in the counter.
Like we
if you
knew
want
it
a
existed,
copy
but
of
even we would have moments where like, oh yeah, I forgot that was coming out for the 360.
Mhm.
Oh shit. Okay.
And
That's
so
what
did the
that's
rest
what
of the
marketing
world.
wins.
Yeah. It's like Persona 5 is still coming out on the PS3.
No one
You're
knows.
right. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
People forgot.
You're
Except
right.
for
I totally
one
forgot. I totally forgot.
Marketing, man. That's the
And
magic.
and it doesn't help also that when like okay, it's a Resident, like for example, back to Resident Tomb Raider, if they restock, for example, Data Blitz, they have 10 copies of that. And then they get one 360 copy. They won't display.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
What
prize
Israel?
figure, the chase game.
Yeah, because like I asked her, I went to Green Hills and I said, I can't find it in the shelves. I can't find it in the display. I asked Miss, do you have a copy of Rise of the Tomb Raider that's a 360? And then she said, Xbox One Pro. No. I said 360.
And then
they
she
go all
pull
the way
you?
in the back.
I thought she like
No, they go
pulled
all the way in
you
the back.
in. And then we must not
They pulled
speak
me
of this.
inside.
And it's like we must not speak of this. Take it and go.
Some under the table kind of dealings. You know?
They
In the
start
back
like-
of the mall, in
they start
a
messaging
paper
their
bag.
bosses. Yeah. They
The
start
360
messaging their
was in the
bosses.
back.
Somebody bought it. Somebody knows.
They only had one copy, and I took it. I don't know if other people bought it, but I'd like to think I'm the only one who bought it.
Probably not. Man, maybe you got really lucky and probably have the only copy out there.
What? Maybe
In the Philippines, maybe. Yeah, but anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, but there, the Zelda, the Switch.
I mean, you're all still right about it not being a day one purchase just because there's not enough games.
Right.
But I think it's still a pretty solid thing to have that Zelda game on it, you know, and you can just pick it up and bring it anywhere. It's blowing my mind that like this is a console game and I'm outside.
True. I
That
love
revelation.
I'm a Zelda fan. True and true. I mean, maybe not the most dedicated one because I have missed a few titles, but I've always loved the series. It's just that, like I said about the Switch, I just found it. I just really want to wait it out first, especially since
That's
it was
that's a solid justification.
overpriced here.
Mm.
I
don't think it's overpriced here, man. I'll disagree with you there.
So yeah, I do want to hear that. I do want to hear why though.
It's I know. We had Migs Lopez from Critical Index. He was in Japan when he bought the Switch,
Right?
and he said it's about 15,000 pesos because it's mga like 27,000 yen and all that.
Right.
And like, that sounds fine. And then the bundle here is you get the Switch unit and 2 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is Zelda, which is $60, and 1-2 Switch, which is $50.
Right.
And then say the 30% markup for importing the Switch, 3,000 pesos, diba? So you have 19,000 pesos for the unit, which is the 15,000 plus the 30% markup for the stores. And then you have like 5,500 pesos worth of games. You get 2.5.
Here,
25,000.
Yeah, here's the thing though. Like, yeah, it's a bundle price. I never like converting because it can always change. But 25 with 2 bundles of 2 games on a day one console is not bad at all.
And I know I've noticed that they've like Toys R Us, they include I think a Pokemon Center plushie and 2 amiibos. And then I think Data Blitz also like gives you 3 random amiibos, so that's still something, you know.
And a coaster.
Probably you'd hope. I'd say
I
like
guess it's
when
where
the
I'm
PS
coming from.
the PS4 came out here day one, it was like at 28,000 with no games, 1 controller.
That's okay.
I mean, I guess the downside is you can't buy any of the Switch games because they don't sell them. But hey, at least you get to play something on it the day it comes out.
I
wait,
guess my only contention with this is that I find it mad overpriced. Is when PS came out, it barely had competition at all. Although I felt the same way. I was still against buying the PS4 day one. It was only until like a year later wherein I said, okay, the PS is a good purchase. But for this, I find it how do I say? I'll try to be out there and say that I find it careless for them to price it that way, considering that their competition actually has like the PlayStation, and it was priced at around 18. I understand that people are trying to compare day one price to day one price. I'm just saying that when you plop it down there and you plop the Switch down there and you're literally against Pro and the normal PlayStation, which is right there, it's a bit ballsy to price it that way and have that little of game support, along with the fact that Nintendo does have a very, very good bad history of having really bad game support.
That's the thing. That's
No,
the
wait,
thing
you're
on
mixing
why
two
I
things
can't
now.
get the PS4.
You're saying that Nintendo's bad day one support is the reason why they're. I mean, it's helping them justify the store prices or parang ganon?
No, okay, sorry. I'll try to distill my thoughts in a way that it's more of I'm trying to look at it from a marketing practice that I wish that they would have just taken. I think they would have made more by taking the standpoint of being the secondary console and pricing themselves that way as well. Being that console that you would still own regardless of whether you had an Xbox or a PlayStation. Just
Here's the
because
thing,
that
though.
even in the
Here's the thing, though, with because I can't. It's hard for me when it comes to with Nintendo in general. When they start comparing it with the PS4s, because Nintendo, yes, they have horrible third-party support. Once they have established really good third party support, then I can put them alongside with the PlayStation, the Xbox One, because then because the reason why you buy Nintendo is because all of those things that come from first party stuff. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
sadly, that's a thing.
That's always the thing.
That's
That's
what
why
the
it's
Wii U
hard
had
for
to
me
live
to.
on.
Yeah, because like PS4 Pro, they all have all that. We can't get Shadow of War, all those third party titles. Um, that's always their thing. If Nintendo goes that route, throws in third party support, then the competition really starts to becoming fierce because they have the same amount of games already.
Hmm.
You know what I mean?
because
That's what.
I guess I'm just at that point where it's coming from criticism, and I actually, the bottom of all of this, I actually do want Nintendo to succeed. I actually
We all
want
want to.
it to
It's just
come.
like the.
I want Nintendo to go
Yeah.
back to the days of SNES, of
Mhm.
when they were actually a good
When they
competitor,
were the
and
king
the thing,
of the video games.
or at least a player. Maybe not. Maybe it might be too late for them to be a king, but at least to be a player. Just because I think
Yeah.
that pricing it this way now might, yes, we'll have like fans here and there, and there'll be people like
Mhm.
JP, there'll be people who like will buy it, but then if if our forecasts hold true, that 1 year down the line, 2 years down the line, they don't get good support, it becomes another flash in the pan.
Right.
Actually, idea. So that's why I'm saying maybe
Yeah,
pricing
but
it a bit lower
I don't
might have
think
helped
you're
them.
giving it a fair shake, because imagine if, say, the PS4 when it launched, like, was at also di ba, mga 27,000. Put the scenario where, like, oh, what if that doesn't have good third party support also? Like, what if it's harder to develop for the PS4 than it was even the PS3?
Well,
History. It's more of that because the PlayStation has had the history of good third party support and good
yeah,
game
that's
lineups.
that's the thing. Like it's because Nintendo has always been known as a thing that we don't have good third party support.
Yeah,
PS4
but
always had that.
giving it
So
the stigma of, like, why are you pricing it this way when it's $300, man? It's probably one of the cheapest launches you can have, like, in modern
this is 300.
times. Yeah, it's $299, right?
Oh, it's a 300.
No, it is. It is at 300.
Oh,
It's priced at 300.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
It's only
the
because of the
reason
tax stuff. Like,
I
that's
think the
because
reason why they're bundling it is because I don't think they can get their hands on enough Switch launch games, and then there aren't a lot, and probably because none of them will sell except for Zelda.
Well,
And
here's my thing.
I think
though.
it's Nintendo's mistake also for not making One to Switch a pack-in game. Like, why
Nintendo
is
Land,
that thing $50, man?
Sorry.
That's
like Nintendo Land.
why is One
yeah,
to Switch $50?
that's true.
Well,
That's true.
That's your tech demo
is
game.
the
Put it with
milking
your console. It
is
doesn't
the
take much
milking game
space to
there?
put in there.
Is the milking game in One to Switch,
Yes,
or
it
is that
is,
Nintendo?
man.
Oh no.
Want to Switch.
Yeah, why is it $50 then? Why is it $15?
That's their mistake. That's Nintendo being Nintendo. Like that's where you
That's
say,
the
like,
true mistake right
here's
there.
the flaw with this cheap
There's the
system.
Nintendo.
There's the Nintendo I know and love.
But for me, when it comes to hardware, it's a good safe bet to always give it a year. Because I did that with the PS4, I did it with the PS3, I did it with the 360 and all that jazz. Same with the Switch, because then you will see like the plan a little bit clearer for them. Because I've said that many times when it comes to hardware, all hardware console lineups are shit. They're always shit.
Oh, dude, yeah. I'd say maybe what the
All of
like
them.
this one is okay because it has a big hitter like Zelda, but everything else is kind of weak. And
Actually,
then
this one's better than the
I
Wii
think the
U.
PS4 is the only one with a decent launch lineup.
That was kind of
Diba?
shaky
Like,
for me, but yeah, like,
It was still shaky, but if looking back, it was way worse back in the day.
That's true.
but you know how good,
way
like,
worse.
you know how effective Zelda is, because if you check out the Wii U lineup and versus the Switch lineup, I don't have a full was that, but I saw it recently. Wii U, you can tell that they were pushing the third party support hard because they're like they have day
They
one.
put Batman,
They put
Deus
Batman,
Ex,
Assassin's Creed, Deus Ex, all that games, all
Watch Dogs 1.
Watch Dogs.
Oh my god.
But what's funny is they have so much of that, but if you remove all of that, it looks like crap because those are all old games. So I have to disregard those. And then you go to the
And then-
Switch, you have Zelda.
Yeah.
That's it. You're good. You win. You win. Time to go. Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, Nintendo makes up for it with really solid first parties, but hopefully that's going to change because the Switch does have Unreal 4 support
Mhm.
and Unity support. And apparently, according to JP at least, for Unity, it's basically pick the option to like Switch version, and it'll do most of the work for you.
Okay.
Like at least the hard stuff gets done in the background. So
Honestly,
something like it's way better looking than the Wii ever had. The Wii is such a bad system. The Wii U, I mean. The Wii is
honestly,
such a terrible system.
as cynical as I am about the Switch, I would be so glad for them to prove me wrong. Like a few
dude,
months
yeah,
or a year down the line, if they manage to prove me wrong, holy shit, I'd be so happy.
They have till June
Mm.
for me. They have till June.
because that's when Mario comes out, I think.
No, that's when everybody else starts showing if what their shops is going to be at the end of the year and next year.
That's true.
Because
That is true.
that's because they can't right now they're playing catch up. They're really playing catch up. So
When
they
is
have to
When is E3 again?
June.
June.
June,
There you go.
July.
Yeah, there you go.
June, July. That's why I'm saying
So
they have
that's,
until
that'll be the
June.
telling thing. Yeah.
They're playing catch up. They're playing catch up.
Yeah, they need
That's
to show
why
a
they
new
have to be
like wave of games when that hits, or
Dude,
they'll probably
just
just
show
make
a
another
Metroid
direct without telling
logo.
anyone.
Just show a Metroid logo. We're
No,
all
no.
fine. Just
I
show a
think
Mario
if
logo.
like it's baffling me how they haven't teased Pokemon or Monster Hunter. Because if you want to nail that audience, even when the games aren't ready yet, just mention it
Yeah.
or show a logo. Like that's gonna be enough.
Yeah, we've talked about this like I think a couple episodes ago. Like just like how Sony does it, like Final Fantasy VII
Yeah.
remake. They just
Like
showed
that game
that.
is not real
They can
yet,
take
and then
10
they're showing
years.
so much.
Yeah, they
Kingdom
can take
Hearts
10
3.
freaking years to make that. Yeah, no one cares. But someone must have
Dude,
bought a
fucking
PS4.
Last Guardian. Diba? People bought that.
Right.
People bought PS3s for that game.
Right.
And it never
Yeah.
came out. But they were hoping for it because Sony said it would be coming.
But Nintendo's so old school, and they're very
Nintendo's
honest.
like, oh, I don't want to lie to our audience. Oh,
Yeah,
it's bad. It's bad juju.
and look at Xbox like canceling their own exclusives. Like they all have.
Xbox just straight up kills it. Like, nope. I'm not coming out. Sorry. 2 years in development? No. I'm gonna flush it right down the toilet.
Scalebound, cool concept.
Scalebound,
Dragons,
Phantom
I don't need
Dust. Yeah, that
Phantom
Peter
Dust,
Molyneux game.
I still
Fable.
Kill them
I
all.
still wish that we get to the point wherein Square does lovely games for Nintendo, PlayStation, and for just all around.
Dude, yeah. But at least, if anything, they have a chance now.
Right.
Because
I mean,
fuck the Wii.
you know what would be the
Really?
strongest thing for me, and it would be such a huge wish list. You remake Chrono Trigger for Switch.
Oh, say that might not happen.
That'll work. That will work.
It could, but I don't think Square will ever do that.
Yeah, I know, but
They hate
that
their
is like
fans.
so out there. But if they do that,
That's like the dream.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
I would
Switch
say, yeah, I would
suddenly
say
goes
so
back.
too, yeah.
Switch gets in my radar right then and there.
No, actually, then those indies and also those classic RPGs would kind of make more sense with the mobile because I'd like to play Chrono Trigger on on the go. It's fine. Why not?
Yeah.
It's cool.
Like I probably still won't get the Switch for say another year, but I wasn't on the hype train until
Now you
I
are.
got to mess with it and like this is really cool. Like I want one. You know that feeling
Well,
you
then-
get?
What kind of feeling?
Like
Oh well,
you just want something and like I can't justify this in my head, but I want it.
yeah. It happens especially when you try it out. But there, then the Switch. That's pretty cool
No,
stuff.
here's
Might-
my here's my beef with at least Zelda on the Switch.
Oh, you want to go Zelda? Okay, go ahead.
Apparently it's been fixed with a patch, but when we tried it, it was jumping from weird frame rates, like 60 to like 20. Because there,
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's an optimization thing, but like once you see a ton of like moving grass in the fields,
Mhm.
it chugs and like, oh, I feel like I'm slowing
No.
down now.
Is this
You
dock?
know?
Is this dock?
Is the Switch burning right now? Can somebody check?
Is it dock though? When that was happening?
When docked, yeah, it's weird because when you undock it, it runs at a solid 30.
That's interesting. But this
So,
is before
I
the
don't
patch.
know.
This is before the day one patch of.
Yeah,
Zelda.
apparently it's been fixed with a patch, but I came across articles that were saying the same thing. Where when it's docked, it chugs, but when it's undocked, it runs strangely smoother.
Okay.
I don't know how the upscaling works on the Switch. Maybe it's more complicated than we think, but there's that. Zelda's not perfect.
Well, what can you?
I'd say,
Well,
I'd
you have
say
levels
Horizon
in-
is an easier sell still, even though Zelda
Oh, yeah.
looks real good.
Yeah, that's the
Mhm.
thing. Like, I don't want to be biased or anything, but I haven't found an FPS drop, and I'm fighting dinosaurs, Dinobots. Sorry. I'm
Although
fighting Dinobots.
I heard somewhere, I'm not sure how true it is, that NieR is beating out Horizon in terms of the best PlayStation 4 game.
Damn it!
What?
Speaking of which, yes.
How?
I'm not.
How about you?
Yeah, I heard about that.
That's insane.
I'm not sure.
That's good, but
I-
insane.
Yeah, I just heard it from a friend. So the thing is, I haven't really researched on it, but a friend of mine is already saying that. Yeah, I think it's already beating out Horizon in terms of the best game.
Well, no.
Maybe that's
Is it
that's
by
region
sailing?
specific.
Is that region specific? Because in the UK, Horizon
It could be in Japan.
beat,
Yeah.
Zelda in its first week. So you have to take that in the UK, yeah, because
That's true, that's true,
Horizon
that's true.
came out on the 28th of Feb, and Zelda came out on March 3. So that's a 1 week span, and at the end of that week, Horizon went on top. But it's hard to take that into account because there are a lot more PS4s out there.
And dude, NieR just launched like yesterday.
No,
you know.
but I'm talking about but
For
I'm
the
talking about
US.
I'm talking
but
about
for
Horizon and
most
Zelda.
countries, it came
So
out
yeah,
like
I need
yesterday.
the fact.
So the
I need to
stats.
fact check, but
We don't fact check here.
I I need to
We
check
don't, that's the rule.
whether it's actually true that I mean not sales wise. I thought ratings wise that NieR is.
Oh,
is
ratings,
beating
then
out
that might make more sense. But even still, like Horizon is really pretty.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
If you
no
look
doubt.
at NieR, it can get a bit ugly. You know,
True, this is true.
like the characters look
How's
great,
NieR,
but the
by the way?
environments can look kind of crap. I'm
Yeah.
loving it, dude. But I'm
talk
also
about NieR.
insane.
You both have
All right.
been playing. I haven't.
Yeah, Rob,
But-
your review just came out today.
Yeah,
And I
but
got
you
to-
see,
Played 2 hours of it a while ago.
you see what NieR lacks. I just directly comparing it against Horizon. What NieR lacks
ahead.
in visuals,
Mm.
it makes up for a goddamn good soundtrack, and it's really good, at least in my opinion. As I was going
Actually, I have
through the
nothing.
world,
I have nothing to say with Horizon's soundtrack. Actually, that's okay.
it's
that's true.
it's
It's
there,
forgettable,
right? No,
probably.
because
It's
a lot
there,
of
but you can't remember it.
it's a lot of ambience.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's
That
ambience.
them Hans Zimmerman style.
So, but NieR becomes so
Oh, Dude,
Weird.
yeah, NieR soundtrack gets in your face, like in
And
a good
it's
way.
so weirdly good. So it adds to it. It adds to the entire thing. Actually, I'll give you a minor spoiler. For NieR, I actually finished NieR in like 2 hours because I accidentally blew myself up inside the spaceship.
That can happen.
You can self destruct, and I was fiddling around with my controls. And when you start at the very almost at the start of the game, right after the demo part, if you blow yourself up, you get like a bad end.
Oh, dude, that happened to me. Ending W.
Yeah, ending you.
No. Oh, there's another one. Because if you
Oh my
die in the
God, that's
tutorial
awesome.
stage, you get another bad end.
Oh no way!
Awesome.
Oh, I
You
missed that.
No,
I missed
if
that.
you know the first part where you're controlling the ship,
Right.
try to die there, man. Because I tried to jump into hard mode immediately,
Okay.
where 2 hits and you're dead.
Okay.
So I died in that first part because I wasn't being careful. Like I took 2 stray bullets without being careful. And like there was some text like the Yorha soldiers were annihilated. The machines have taken over. And then it like fast forwarded a bunch of credits like 10 times as fast.
It does that. It does that. It's
Ending
great.
W,
That is
broken
so
wings.
Awesome.
It's so great. So you can
That
now
is
have
so
ending
awesome.
you right after the tutorial when you get to the
Okay,
ship.
so I'm gonna kill
blow yourself up.
myself to blow
Yeah.
the skirt off and get there.
And get that
Yes,
ending.
I'm gonna do that. Yeah.
It's great.
I'm doing that,
It's so great.
I'm pulling out the
Man,
OS
that-
chip from my character and kill myself.
That shows a lot of character growth in itself. With
It's
that
good.
kind of
Oh,
It's
ending.
good. It's
It's
really
great,
good. But yeah, that's what NieR is. Combat is so fluid. Honestly, because I'm playing
Thank you,
between
Platinum Games.
because I'm playing
Thank you,
through
Platinum Games.
between both Horizon and NieR. The difference is I can literally see the difference. While Horizon is so tactical, and you actually have to
Right.
plan your moves. NieR, while
Balls out.
it's like all out, but it's so beautiful. There's barely no learning curve on it. And
Yeah,
you
it's
just
probably
start-
one of the more easier Platinum games to pick up. You just mash through it.
Okay.
It's good.
It's not Bayonetta hard.
No. It's like the dodge is way more lenient. You get like this huge window for the iframes, and then you can keep mashing through.
Right.
And survive. And plus, on the lower difficulties, it gives you like a combat chip that lets you auto consume health items if it reaches below X amount percentage.
Oh, hard doesn't have that.
In hard, it's disabled.
Oh no, I have that. I have that exact
Yeah.
same one. Okay.
Oh wow.
If you look at the chips, actually, in easy mode, there's a bunch of other stuff like auto aim and all that.
Right. I did
that
see
are
those.
just
I did see
straight up
those.
disabled.
That's so
in the harder
technical. Their
difficulties.
difficulty curve.
Yeah, it's kind
That's
of
actually interesting.
it's kind of extra meta because even your HUD you can remove because it's a chip.
Right. That was so good. I was like, wow, did that. Because sorry, you can equip like seeing your life bar. You can equip
Yeah.
seeing
Mhm.
the damage you do.
Yep.
Or you can just take that out.
You can take it off to make more space.
To make more space. That's pretty awesome. Okay.
Oh,
So
you,
like
you level up in this game, and to see how much EXP you get, you have to buy the chip that shows you the experience.
that's so meta.
Right.
And because there's music in this game, right? Once you start the first area, there's practically no songs until you get to like the resistance base.
Yeah.
And they had a chip where it says you can basically see sound waves, like it gives you a graphic visualizer for audio. So I put that on and I'm trying to like trigger the sounds because you can see the sound bars on like the upper right, and it's not doing anything. But then the music kicks in and then it starts pumping up.
Oh,
I'm like, is that the only purpose of that chip? There's
Oh my
no
God.
stealth or nothing. It's just for me.
just that alone, together with the ending, this has so much personality.
It's
It's,
Yoko Taro
in this game.
insane.
it's called a chip
Man.
system. Basically, all upgrades to your character chips. And
Yeah,
then there's this
Because you're a
one,
robot.
yeah, and there's just
That
one
makes
chip
sense.
It's
Actually, yeah.
called OS.
Back up a bit. Like, just for those who don't know what NieR is, like, what is it like? Just in layman's terms, it's pretty much you're playing a bunch of robots and you go to
Yeah.
Earth and you're killing.
It's an
other
action
robots.
RPG where you play a sexy lady robot.
Enough
That's
said.
correct.
Enough said.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
that there you go. Continue on, Rob. I just want a little bit of this. Yeah, go ahead.
No, but there's this one chip in the entire thing that's called the OS chip, and the moment you remove it, you die.
Yeah, it says so. I think I mentioned that when I played the demo
Yeah.
and I talked about it. It says, no, operating
my
system
God.
for your pod. Removal means death. And like,
And it's so legit.
I'm not touching you.
And it's so legit. It's like, oh,
That's so awesome.
You're pulling out the OS of your robot, and it's kind of hilarious.
You don't
It's
you don't
great.
you don't
It's
see
really
you don't
great.
get that every now and then with games. Just like,
Dude,
oh my god.
you know what I didn't expect from this game?
What?
Because I was thinking, because it's Platinum, it's going to be more linear and like more action game, which is level per level instead of an open world RPG.
Right.
And I was surprised that it actually still is an RPG, because like the first area it throws you in is big. Like there's not much in it, but it's big. Like a desolate city with overgrown vegetation,
I think like,
some wild animals, and then some stray robots.
and there's like a
And,
camp.
like, yeah, you need to find that, but that's kind of quite a ways back, and you can tell where it's coming up because there's some tarps on it. But like,
Okay.
I just ran around all these empty buildings. It's like, oh, there's an item here. Like, oh, there's robots there. Oh,
right.
there's a moose. I'm gonna kill that moose.
And the moose killed
I
me.
got some.
I'm ashamed.
Yeah, the
to
moose
say
is
it.
pretty tough.
The moose killed me.
Have you encountered the wild moose, which is like it's a light gray?
Yeah, it did. It did also killed
And
me.
it drops some really expensive meat. Like, I killed a rare moose.
No, and the thing,
Good.
while the dodge is very lenient, it's hard to predict when your opponent is going to strike.
Yeah, sometimes they don't have the bright robot red eyes that flash.
Yeah.
So at least with the animals, you gotta predict when it comes out. I mean, the pattern's there, but it's
Right.
not like a visual tell.
Mm-hmm.
Pero yun.
I want to play it.
Was I
It's
gonna say?
good.
Like,
It's
yeah.
That's all I'm gonna say right now. I want to play because I haven't tried it yet. I haven't
no.
tried the demo.
Here's an extra little thing I never expected from this game.
Hmm.
It's kind of like Dark Souls, where when you die, you can leave an online message for people to read.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah.
And how
Oh,
it works is because you're a robot, you leave your body and all your upgrades in your dead body.
So you have to get it. You have
You
to
have to
get.
pick
You
it
have
up
to get it
again,
on the
yeah.
Dark Souls. Yeah.
On the
If
Dark
you
Souls
don't-
style. It's
if you
gone.
don't,
If you die
it's
again, it's gone. But the extra thing is, if other players do that, if they die, you can find their bodies in the field also, kind of like
Yeah.
bloodstains. But the extra gimmick is you can either pray and wish them well to give them a full heal as they're playing, kind of like how you upvote and then you get healed, etc.
Right.
or something.
Yeah.
And or you can straight up take whatever scrap they left with their dead body. Maybe they have
Right.
some good parts. Like you in the early areas where like, oh, there's a moose here, and I find a dead body. You died to a moose, didn't you? Oh, you barely have any money? Yeah, you did die to a moose.
I did not know they had Dark Souls feature.
I did not know you.
Yeah,
And then
that's
the
amazing.
third option is you can repair the unit, and they'll become like an autonomous ally that follows you around for a bit.
Yeah.
And helps you out in combat.
Well, but they kind of like
So cool.
blow up after a bit.
Yeah, but you can like amass a zombie of dead robots, I think
That's
that's pretty
true.
cool.
That's true.
I usually just take the money and run.
Same
I don't
here.
need a
I
friend
actually
out
I
there.
pray and then
This game's
I pray
really
and
out
then
pretty out there.
get it. Yeah.
That is
But
actually.
you know what? The option to like get dead bodies. Sometimes I think it's a cheat. I mean, I feel bad for it because I just keep healing. It heals you. It heals you back up.
Is there a good amount of them?
I think
Like,
that it's
scattered
a way
around
for
the
people
stage?
who aren't good with action games to sort of
I
get better at
guess.
it. Because
I
you
guess.
do meet a character who is essentially your tutorial character, and then like ask me anything and I'll tell you about it. And like there's an option there that says this game is too hard. And like,
I know.
oh, I bet it's gonna tell me about the difficulty changes. Because that's in the options. So like even if you
How does it-
suck at action games, you can beat this because
Mhm.
it makes you hard.
So if there's like that online interactivity, like Dark Souls wise, you you are somewhat online, then do you get
Yeah,
disconnected?
it will ask you to
Does it
online
interrupt
and
you?
no.
Okay.
It will ask initially. It will ask if you want that feature on, and I think it stays on until you turn it off. But when you
Okay.
go to certain spots, like Rob, the spots where the save points that you unlock are,
Right.
they have like a sort of range, right? Because you can't just save anywhere. You need to be near like an access point because you're essentially backing up your memory data. So in case you die, it goes back to a
Mm.
new robot. So that's how it
Mm.
works. I think when you reach access points, it'll say on the top of your screen that like connecting to online network, ganyan. So parang there are
Yeah, 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 yeah.
zones, it seems. But it doesn't like hinder or it doesn't stop my game to try to connect to the internet.
That's true. The game actually goes out of its way to tell you that it doesn't autosave.
Oh yeah. And if you die in the tutorial, you have to do the entire tutorial mission all over again. If you die in the demo, you have to do the entire thing all over again.
Oh wow! But now I
you
have
get
to
the
die in the demo
W.
for the ending.
Yeah, you have
Yeah,
to
I
now.
know.
W.
Oh god.
Oh wow.
I've been on a total media blackout for this
Okay.
because I really like NieR because I played NieR 1 and Drakengard 3 and all that.
Mickey was the person who got me into NieR. Actually, I never played it in mine.
I'm fully expecting like a Yoko Taro fuck you. This is a sad ending twist. Like
Oh.
a lot.
Oh, the
A
overall
lot of
thing.
that. Like all the endings are gonna be super sad and it's gonna be great. I can't wait.
Well, so far the endings that you guys are picking up are pretty saddening in itself. It's just you failed.
No, it's kind of silly. Because
It's silly ends.
fast
It's
forward,
silly ends.
the
Yeah.
credits is stupid. It's like hyper fast.
Yes.
Kulang na lang fast forwarded music to go with it. Eh. Yeah, it goes real fast.
I love that
But yeah.
touch, though. I really love that touch. Yeah.
Honestly, going into NieR, I
Yeah.
didn't really care much about it until Migoy filled me in on the lore.
Until
of,
you got deep into the
his
lore,
stuff.
because like, boy,
the
does it
lore.
go those places.
It's a hell.
Oh, man,
it's
you
a
don't
fucking
even know.
rabbit hole. It's a fucking rabbit hole. Seriously.
You don't even know, man. In the resistance base, the first area you kind of go to, like one of the
Yeah.
shopkeepers mentions a name, and I freaked out.
Oh, does
immediately.
he? Does he? Can you tell
He
me?
mentions a Drakengard 3 character, and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, does he?
So they have those
that's
little
me
Easter
being
eggs
insane.
injected. Okay, that's pretty cool.
You don't even know how insane this goes because like apparently the backstory for Automata is a stage play that Yoko Taro wrote like a few years back, and it's about aliens invading Earth. And then they go into it because they give you the introduction where like we're fighting an alien invasion with this robot army, and like they really went with the whole aliens thing, huh?
Oh no. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting.
Oh my god.
Oh, so near Automata, like Miggy's gushing. Just second.
Mm.
My stream is called Gushing, the video game. That's me.
Actually, you know what? There is a lot to gush about. This first quarter has been very, very friendly to us. Has been very, very gamer friendly.
Not for your wallets. So
Not
many
for your
fucking
wallet.
games out there.
Gushing. I'm also gushing as well because I'm like, oh my god, I'm in constant bliss when I play Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm just like, oh, it's so good. I love this.
Right?
this world.
Then Mass Effect Andromeda is gonna come out, and you're gonna say,
No.
video
Right?
games.
You have Mass Effect, you have Persona, you have these. There are a lot of good games that are out right. That are
Not to mention
out and
the
are
ones we
coming
haven't
out.
bought yet.
Exactly.
I've said this like I've had a couple of episodes for this year already. Each time we've mentioned it, it gets growing, it gets bigger and bigger. Last episode, I said that it's an amazing quarter. The same obvious reception about this quarter. But the only difference now is, I think Zelda's really good, and apparently there's even for example that game called Ghost Recon Wildlands. That
Oh, yeah,
apparently
that's-
is good.
You
That
mentioned
actually
that got good reviews.
it's actually got good reviews. Like fuck, I really thought that was gonna be the first miss of
Yeah,
2017.
after playing the beta, I was like, this game is crap. Nobody's gonna buy
I
this.
did not like that game at all, but apparently the reviews were okay with it. So I'm
Nah,
like,
we're not tactical enough to
we're
appreciate
not
that game, I
tactical.
guess.
Yeah, we're not tactical.
We're
We
not
don't have
tactical
good
at
net,
all.
and
That too. Ubisoft doesn't know we exist.
they don't really know we exist. But my point is that Rob is right.
Despite
I think
having an office here.
all the games are actually good. Resident Evil 7 is
Yeah.
good.
Mhm.
NieR is good. Neo
See,
is good.
see, now you finally understand when we talked about the games last year, and then you guys were like, "Oh, this is coming out, this is coming out," and I'm like, "Man, all the stuff I want is coming out next year."
This
And
is
now
it.
it's here. I'm like, "Fuck!"
Kingdom Hearts also, by
Too
the
many,
way.
Oh
too many
no,
video.
Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom
That's part of the-
Hearts.
And then the
Mhm.
ports
For
of
Honor was
HD
good.
remakes too.
Yeah.
Oh god, still
Well,
haven't gotten
least-
Neo.
at least we sort of get a break. We sort of get a break on May. I don't think there is much happening on May, game wise, at least.
Dawn of
Yeah,
War
I think
for me.
In May, well, there's that, and Justice 2 for me.
Injustice 2, sorry.
Dawn of War
And
3.
I think that after that, but like I think E3 time is quiet time because it's all news.
Yeah.
Tekken 7.
It's
No,
just-
Tekken 7 comes
Actually,
out.
more work.
Tekken
That's
7
fine.
comes
That's
out.
one game.
Yeah.
That's one game.
And then it's quiet for the
alright.
rest
No,
of the
Tekken 7. I really
fine,
consider Tekken 7 is already out in the wild, so it's fine. It's just
It's
pretty out.
not,
It's pretty out in the
though,
wild.
dude. Ask America. Not
Whatever.
fair for them because they have
It's-
like the Tekken 7 tournament for I think Evo, and like Japan and all the Asian countries have the arcade machines, so they're all practiced up. And America's like, we don't have Tekken 7 here. We can't train.
Oh,
How are we
and
gonna stand a chance?
I think the last one that's to be told is Final Fantasy 12, Zodiac Age. That's it.
Oh
That's
god,
alright.
I want to get that. I
Get
really want
that,
to play
yeah.
that one, that version.
Fine.
Yeah, the Zodiac
gosh.
Age. That was also it's also coming out. Oh no, and Outlast
That's
2.
June, though. That's June, though.
Outlast 2 is also coming on. So there's some. So there. It's not like in the first quarter. Like there's just like a bunch
Like the
of
first
games.
2 quarters are real heavy.
No, you can't really say it's really heavy. Like the second quarter has like meat. It has meat, but the first one is just completely like just crowded. It just really
First
feels
quarter
crowded.
is insane for this year. I don't think there's ever been a year that had this many heavy hitters.
Yeah,
Yep.
heavy
One.
hitters
Yeah, I will
with the
say
new
that.
with the new hardware, and all the heavy hitters turn out to be good in their own regard.
Yep.
For
yep,
Honor
yep.
is even good. Wildlands apparently is good enough. I mean, like
At
there's
least
like
we can skip that.
I'm gonna skip that. Like there's
skip
also
that.
Mass Effect that I hope blows my mind because I'm a huge Mass Effect fan, despite the Mass Effect 3 ending, mind you. I'm the only one who liked it. The colors. But yeah, I think I'm gonna end this episode on that note that everything up
It's
to the
awesome.
end of March. Yeah, everything up to the end of March is awesome. And
Cue the Lego song.
cue the Lego song.
Everything is awesome.
Cue Will Arnett at least. At least. But yeah, this is 160. Thanks for listening. Rob, thank you for joining us. That was actually pretty cool.
Thank you very much for
joining
having me
this
again.
discussion. I hope
I'm,
you had a
I'm
good time.
really, really happy to be here. I'm a fan of the podcast.
Ooh,
I'm
just
fans.
invited a
sir. I'm
fan.
fans. I'm fans.
we invited a fan without even knowing. Oh no.
I know. This is you've opened the gates.
Oh no. It's like it's
Truly
happening.
a fan. Wait, here's the ultimate test. If you're truly a fan, where can you send us an email if you have questions, comments, or violent reactions?
Oh God! Wait, I'm gonna fail.
Ooh, exposed.
I'm gonna fail. No, I watch it. I don't know stuff.
Before I plug that,
go.
before I plug that, Rob, where can we find your content?
Where can people
Oh.
find you? Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
please check out our content at UnGeek.PH. We also have Facebook, facebook.com/UnGeek.PH, and our YouTube channel, youtube.com/UnGeek.PH. Same for Twitch, twitch.tv/UnGeek.PH. Please check it out.
There you go. Yep. And again, like I said earlier in the start of the cast, do check out the Helpless Gamer. We're also included in there. Fun stuff, cool stuff. And for us, if you have any other concerns, questions regarding this podcast or any other, about topics, you can contact us at contact@toomuchgaming.net. Previous episodes, our articles, reviews, all that jazz can be found at www.toomuchgaming.net. And do subscribe on Podomatic and iTunes for the latest because we have an episode every week. Miggy, the TMG blog,
Yes.
the YouTube channel. You got any NieR? You got any new videos?
I don't. I
Highlighting?
I can't let's play NieR because I'm gushing. That's the
James, I know you can't do the work.
I want to have
You can't do the
fun.
work.
Oh no!
Like even
Oh,
on stream, I
no.
just shut up because like I'm just enjoying it too much.
We do
But
have a stream as well.
Overall,
by
the
the way.
videos are still being edited. The Inside Let's Play live stream is done.
Mhm.
I still got to prep the Transformers Devastation ones, and I am thinking of doing Day of the Tentacle
Oh,
because
right? Or
I
live
have
stream?
played it on stream, and I think I am ready to show off people like, oh, here's how you do this bullshit. Here's
Oh,
how
okay,
you do
that's
this
great.
thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's a point
There-
and click game, so you gotta memorize it. It's one of those.
But there you go. Thanks, guys. The 160. We have an episode again every week, so do expect another one on. What's this? This is March 8th. We're recording this on March 8th. And yeah, thanks, guys. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
There we go.
Am I closing the recording?